In the meantime, Jin, while you do that, can I just say on the last topic, dude, the only reason that got so heated, I don't think I've ever, and I'm saying this respectfully, I don't think I've ever talked to a content creator who is in the Globe Earth thing, who is doing the making a channel, clowning on flirts or whatever you guys call it, like making fun of flat earthers, who has tried to convince people that it's not doing that. Like, I think that was a first. Like, that's why I was so flabbergasted by it and going so deep on that. Like, why it went on for so long. I was like, dude, I was like absolutely blown away. Like, you see Brenda in the comments, and they're all doing laughing emojis and calling Demox stupid and ripping on Arwen. Like, I've never heard anyone try to defend that and be like, oh no, we're not doing that at all. We're actually propping them up. Yeah. Oh, you know what I mean? Like, and then he's taking cuts from Earth Awakenings too, like trying to do it, making fun of us as well. In all my years in this, I don't think I've ever once had someone who has a channel like that who would try to convince people that it's not that, and that it's actually like respecting, everybody and holding up Demok in high regard as a respectful, high wisdom person. I've never, when it's obviously the opposite. That's why I said wisdom, because one of his things was like making fun of Demok that he has no wisdom or whatever. So anyways, I've never, Ruhif, have you ever heard that? Anyone actually have a channel who's doing that and then claim that it's actually like respecting flat earthers?
I don't particularly care. Like, I just wanted to talk about something substantial rather than.
Yeah, I know, and we should, but I'm just saying that's the only reason that went so deep, dude. Like, I've never. Yeah. That was unreal. I mean, even you would go to his channel and know what it is, and he was here trying to tell us all.
Probably.
That he's just all being respectful and it's all legit.
I consider that very substantial. What you're talking about there, very substantial. What would motivate people to want to do that kind of video? What would be the point of that?
But if they do it, at least they would have to admit what it is. Like, of course, that's what, MC Toon knows what he's doing. He'll probably even admit that he mocks flat earthers. Like, it's pretty, he's not going to sit here and be like, oh no, I respect flat earthers deeply and I honor their groundbreaking research for the new paradigm science. You know what I mean? He's not going to say that.
But some of his videos might be like some of my videos are mocking. Some of them are quite respectful. Like, it's, they're not all the same.
Yeah, but the earth is measured flat anyway.
Well, yours may have some respectful. That's true, and even MC Toon, some of his stuff, at least he's being cordial in the conversation. Sometimes, I mean, he's come in here and he's been, for the most part, pretty cordial when he's come in here. So, but I mean, do go look at Icy Spin's channel. Every single thumbnail and every single title is a mocking, ridiculing thing, and I just was blown away that he was trying to convince us that it wasn't. It was just like, maybe he's in extreme. Either he's in extreme denial or he's doing it purposely, which is just kind of a wild thing to even observe. I've just never seen it. That's why I went that deep on it. It's like,
Vanby's in the chat. I'm just trying to read back my conversation with him from a few weeks back.
Hold on. Does anyone have any last comments on that? Because you guys jumped into this real quick, but I know that was a whole long drawn out thing, but are there any other comments, feedback on any of that last conversation with Icy Spin? He did leave.
I think you did a good job. I think you did a good job in exposing that, what was he actually up to? And I think that's quite interesting to know. So we know how to deal with him the next time he comes in. I'm not going to be hostile to the guy, because that's not what I do really. But at the end of the day, thank you very much. That's all I could say. I've learned something.
Yeah, well, the only reason it came up is because originally he was saying he's not here to mock and ridicule, and then I went to his channel, and then it was a totally different story. That was the only reason. It was like a contradiction, and we ended up like debating that basically, and it didn't really have to be some whole expose, but it was kind of about him. And then because I heard that he had a channel, and then it came up, and it was just in contradiction to what he was debating for. Or before, and that's why it came up.
Yeah, but I generally don't look at those. I don't look at those sort of channels at all. I don't even know who whatever his name is. First time I'm hearing his name.
Yeah,
I think he came in through MC Toon. He's like either friends with or connected through MC Toon in some way. Like he came in, like those few times MC Toon came in here, and I think Icy Spin came in at that time, as far as I know. And
that's why my name is Demock, Gio. Isn't that weird? That all the people that try to ridicule and mock people. So I come in with the name to demock, so like
that's hilarious, dude. MOCK, right, so, to demock them.
Exactly. So what?
Yeah, but you go after people though. You do.
No, I know, but what I'm doing is democking them. That's what I'm doing, because look,
you're taking their mocking and turning it back on themselves.
Yes, 100%. So that's why he's only ridiculing himself by saying he doesn't comprehend simple words like just anything we even discuss in here. That's just crazy to say he doesn't understand the discussion that he's supposed to be a part of.
Well, are you actually saying your name actually was like you actually made it with the idea of democking, like MOCK? Or are you just kind of playing on that?
Listen, Jewish, this has been my name. It also means the touch of death. And the demock thing, you know how I like words and that and stuff. So mock and like so I can't be ridiculed because the person that tries to ridicule someone they've already democked themselves. Yeah, I made the term what it is, kind of. It's both things now.
See, this is I just happened to I was on this. This is on MC Tunes channel. It says King of All Flirfs, Demock destroys FE, featuring Bob the Science Guy. So this is some 3-hour video. I don't know what this is. Probably some. Oh, this is on the Asylum. Actually, this is old. 3 years ago. This is on Apoc's Asylum server. It looks like you went in there and had probably a whole match with MC Toon. And anyway, see how so MC Toon mocks you and calls you King of the Flirfs. So for the IC Spins channel, he's doing it too over there. And then he's putting he himself was responding with crown emojis. That's what I'm saying, dude. I can't believe he just sat in here trying to tell us that he's not mocking Demock. That's unbelievable. Dude, we know what this is, bro. It's right from MC Toon, King of All Flirfs, Demock, and we know what MC Toon's doing. He's completely, you know what I mean? They're calling, they're insulting you. So anyways, I can't believe IC Spin would try to. Yeah, that was mind blowing. Anyways, we can definitely move on. But I mean, it's just Demock. Have you ever heard anyone try to defend a channel that's obviously doing that and say that it's the opposite in your whole life in this?
Yeah, I mean, if you do, you already know they're just full of shit. They shouldn't. Most people don't know. Most people that do goofy shit just tell you exactly what they're doing, or you can see it and you point it out and say, "Hey, did you just trip over the box?" And they're like, "Yeah, I was tripping over the box in my videos." It's really simple.
Yeah, I mean, MC Toon, I've heard him more or less admit what his channel is. I mean, he's not going to completely say that it's that he's deeply respecting flat earthers and honors their viewpoint and the way you would with your peers, kind of thing. So he's seeing us as below him, us meaning basically anyone that has a planar stationary earth thing that he needs to make fun of, to point out, to ridicule, to make look stupid. It's obvious, and then there's a bunch of people around him and channels around him that do it. They do it to Arwen, which is why that got heated too, because there's a whole group of trolls who do this to Arwen. They provoke him, they take cuts from his channel, they have entire channel. There's some of them out there that are entire channels with just hundreds of Arwen videos with AI and cartoons added into it with funny things, and just it's unbelievable.
Tells me they're inadequate.
But I mean, that's kind of part of I'm not excusing the behavior they're describing, Geo, but I'm just saying that is kind of the nature of the internet in a sense. I mean, I'm pretty sure most content creators, regardless of what community they belong to, experience this, and it kind of. And again, I'm not excusing this kind of targeted trolling that you're doing, but unfortunately, it's the nature of the beast. That's how the internet kind of works and always have worked. And I think in Arwen's case, you also kind of have to learn how to deal with that. You kind of have to learn how to deal with people who are targeting you, trolling you, and kind of learn how to handle that. Because from what I've seen, Arwen doesn't handle that very well. And that just puts a bigger target on him. Again, not excusing the type of behavior that you're saying, but unfortunately, it's just how internet works, man. It's just how it is.
No, I hear you, dude. In the world of today's world, there's commentary. I mean, there's even been okay, there's a band I really like. They're called Fish. It's spelled Phish. You guys may have heard of them. They're a huge band. They're one of the top gross touring bands ever, basically, because they've been going for 40 years. And they play all the biggest, Madison Square Garden, New York City. They had a New Year for the year 2000, the millennium 2000 New Year's. They had over 100,000 people. I guess it was one of the biggest concerts in the world. So they're a huge band. But a lot of people do, they never really got the mainstream MTV, support through the music industry. They had to build their whole following from the ground up of actually playing live music. So they're really rare. They're rare in the music industry where they do have they're signed by Elektra Records and all that stuff. They made it to the top, but they had to do it through touring, hard work, actually playing live. Anyways, they get ridiculed a lot, the band Fish. And so yeah, dude, I mean, I just point that out to say there's, and even movie reviews and stuff. Yeah, in our world today, there's gonna be hypercritical people, but there's even more of this mocking and ridiculing thing that's even going on more so. And I hear you, dude. It does go off on the internet a lot. I don't think it's a healthy thing, and it has its own implications. So I hear you, it's gonna happen, kind of thing. The only reason that whole debate went for so many hours is because IC Spin has a channel doing that, and he's claiming he's not doing it. That was the part that was.
No. I get you totally. No, but I think what I'm trying to emphasize is that when it comes to Arwen's case, he doesn't handle it very well. And when you're in a position when you have people who are basically hyper criticizing you and basically jumping on anything that will make him upset, and he gets even more upset, then he just paints a huge target on his back, and that's just going to backfire even more and more and more. Like I think that as a content creator, especially when you are out there, you kind of have to have kind of like a decent way to handle like this troll element and be able to not allow it to get to you and turn that into something positive.
Yeah, but some
Arwen
people
doesn't
do
do
it.
that.
Well, yeah, some people handle it better than others. Like, obviously, some people, when they get like a lot of critics, they respond. Even in the popular culture, some of the actors or actresses or musicians or whatever, sometimes they freak out or they get angry, or like they get angry at the paparazzi, which is a whole nother thing. They're like invading your privacy. But I hear you. People do handle it differently. I think QE has done videos on Earth Awakenings live streams where he just sits there and just does his whole thing. He calls it the treatment or whatever. And anyone who's heard what he does knows what he does. And I think he even did a whole video on me. I never even watched it. Some other people had seen it and they gave me a little bit of feedback. They said I really didn't say anything very bad at all. And they even told me that the other people on Oakley's panel were actually like defending me, actually. So I don't know if that's true because I didn't watch the whole thing. But he has like one or two videos specifically on me, I think. I never watched them, but like I said, people commented and they said that I really didn't say anything very bad or like, that was like, wrong or anything to, in that way, like scientifically or whatever. And then they also said that the other guys on his panel were somewhat sticking up for me. So, and a lot of those guys had been here over the years. They know who I am, whatever. So maybe it sounds to me like they were a little bit like, but nonetheless. But yeah, I don't even react to it at all. Even if I watched it, I wouldn't like react to QE or anything, And even if he came in here, I would just say, hey, what's up? So that's one side of it, where somebody else, you're right, they might react and then people try to provoke
but
them.
it's kind of
into that. But hold on, but somebody who does react to trolling, it's even sicker to try to what they're doing to Arwen, where they try to trigger him and do this stuff, and then they try to capture him, and then try to mock and ridicule
yeah,
him.
but that's because he's reactive to the trolling.
I just need to say this real quick.
Go ahead.
Real quick, like I know Arwen from what, like when he kind of started out on the YouTube and stuff. He was different. He wasn't like he is now. Like, I mean, maybe he had like potentials of flipping out, but he never really did that. Like, it wasn't until like people started digging at him and then trying to like do that. Like, oh, it's entertaining now. Like, we can make this guy, do these things. We can get him to react these ways. It's very evil. Like how people have.
Yeah,
have
they're
done
pushing
that.
his buttons.
It happened.
Right, but do you think about this
sorry.
though? Let's say somebody online, I don't even want to say Arwen because I don't know, but let's say somebody has PTSD and then they react, and then you have a bunch of other people provoking the PTSD and then like adding to it and mocking, ridiculing. Dude, isn't that like just sick, dude? Like somebody that already has, in the case, not even speaking about Arwen necessarily, but somebody who let's say has real deal PTSD. Maybe they were in the army and they heard explosions, and every time they hear an explosion, they have a psychotic breakdown. And then you would have the equivalent, like the analogy, you'd have guys on the internet like going on live streams with him and then playing bomb noises to try to trigger him, and then capturing when he freaks out and says stuff or whatever, and then making compilation videos where they're with all kinds of other crazy stuff to it. Like, dude, that's why I said before, like this whole thing of like, we all knew growing up, oh, the kids who rode the short bus or whatever, everyone pointing their finger or like making fun of those kids or beating up those kids. Like that is like, dude, growing up, whenever I saw kids doing that, I was always like, damn, that's like the lowest of the low. Like you don't beat up like people that are mentally disabled or physically disabled.
Yeah, Gio, I 100% agree with you, but unfortunately, that is the reality of the internet. I don't know if you heard about the lolcow community. There are these huge communities that are based on making fun of people that lash out. There's like this huge, and they have existed for decades. There's the Chris Chan community, the Dark Side Phil community, the Low Tier God community, the Wings of Redemption communities. Like they find these people that lash out and they exploit it. And I'm by no means saying that it is justifiable to do this side of behavior. But what I'm saying that, like, dude, it's the internet. It has existed for decades. It has existed for as long as as the internet itself had existed. And you kind of have to learn how to deal with that. You kind of have to learn that this is how it is. It's disgusting, but it is how it is. And if you are a content creator and you're unable to stand up for yourself, and if you're unable to, handle this kind of stuff, then I mean, you got to do it. You got to handle yourself. You are putting yourself out there, and these things are happening, and they have happened for the past decade. It's
Yeah, but as a community,
Kiwi
shouldn't we
farms,
be
the whole
able to come
thing.
together and like, hey, let's not do this to each other as a community, not like attack each other like that on such a low level, or you just
That's
say,
like asking.
fuck it, it's all
That's
good,
like
it's all
asking
like fair.
4chan to not exist. That's like telling 4chan
No,
please
we're
do
not
not
4chan,
exist.
but
No,
we're
I'm not
not
saying you are
4chan. This
4chan.
community is not
This
4chan,
is not
right?
No, I'm not
4chan.
saying you are. I'm saying the trolls are.
Right. Yeah, I'm just saying within this community. I'm not trying to say
Yeah.
outside of it. I'm saying within this community, like, is it that hard to have enough like common courtesy for each other, not to like try and attack each other on like a psychological level, where you're trying to get a rise out of somebody to the point they crack? Like, that's just, I don't know.
Yeah, but it's gonna happen.
Well, I
can
hear
see-
you. Hold
can
on.
see-
I hear what you're saying. Should I call you Pasta or Pastafari? Dude, I hear what you're saying. However, bro, like, there are people who go out and beat up gay people, right? They go out there and they literally go like actually hurt or even kill or beat up gay people. Or there's people who go hurt black people or Asian people or Chinese people. There are people who do this stuff. So we know it exists in the world. But now those are extreme versions though. Obviously, like trolling on the internet or doing this, like, there's a name for it. It's called troll stalking. It's when you target an individual, you know, usually one individual or multiple. I mean, I read it all earlier. I was reading the definitions of it. So I mean, it is a thing. And I mean, I hear your argument that yes, it's a thing of today's world. It does happen. And you know, there's like bullying too, and they, you know, with like the youth these days, and they, you know, bullying, and then some of them end up like killing themselves because they're being bullied so hard. Dude, we all grew up with it. I grew up in the 80s and 90s. There was all kinds of it as well. Anyways, I don't know. I guess it just came up in relation to all of this because, yeah, I mean, it affects people's lives. And anyways, I don't know. I don't know how deep we want to go on it in terms of from here. I mean, it's a thing, but I guess where do we go from your argument being like, it's a thing? Okay, where do you want to go from there? Yes, I agree. It's a thing. It's obviously, I mean, do you agree it's immoral? Should we go there?
Absolutely, I absolutely agree that is immoral. But my point is that I think that I can't give solutions to everyone. But I'm just saying from where I'm standing, from my perspective, seeing Arwin lash out as hard as he can, hurling swear words. For God's sakes, like 2 days ago, he was basically telling people to off themselves. Like, Arwin, you gotta know how to handle your temper if you're gonna do this. And if you can't, then maybe you shouldn't be doing this.
Oh, no, that's unfair in a way. I mean, if just pro ass trolls fucking tweaking buttons and turning dials on this guy for fucking, you know, it's 5-6 years, and you think that he has any understanding of where his floor and ceiling is anymore? Like, if for behavior, it's like these other people get away with whatever. He's got to. It's crazy, man. It's not. He didn't start that. You know what I mean? That is a like a pack mentality. All these people kind of get into. They're like, oh yeah, it's now it's a competition. Like who? Did you see? I freaked him out with that comment. Like, oh man, like that's funny. And like, you know, like people get in these little troll groups because they're just fucking weak-minded beta males, and then you fucking like glom together. That's how it goes.
It's the humanity of like.
If you
want to
say that's humanity, no, humanity. This is just, it's dominated. It's easy to dominate this with certain types of group tactics that happen with weak personalities, and you can't call that the predominance of the internet and get away with it.
I know
Here,
what's
Sonny
missing.
boy. All right.
I think we need like counseling for online activity. People feel like they're being targeted for this type of behavior. Should be a place where they can like go to get like a counseling. And it's really sad that we've actually met in person that these people that have admitted to doing this disgusting behavior. I mean, some people out there might actually be wanting to get their signatures and their autographs, but then there's a whole bunch of us that, you know, are just absolutely like disgusted to the core of our being, and we can't understand why like anyone would want to do like use their own precious time to just waste it away on this disgusting behavior. Like, but for Arwen, like, is there somewhere he can go like for counseling to get direction? Maybe they might tell him, we think you should just have a break from the internet for a while, Arwen. Maybe something like that.
Or have like a better environment where you can do this type of things, because he comes to a a public server that is very public, and yeah, of course this shit's gonna happen. But look, this type of behavior you're describing, I'm sorry to say this, it's part of human nature. I
Yeah,
myself
yeah.
am a
You're saying
musician.
don't be so You're saying don't be so naive. Is that what you're saying? Don't be
Yeah, yeah,
so
dude,
naive. You're a part
let
of
me
the
put
internet.
let me put him into
Mine,
perspective. I'm a
can I
musician.
say one?
Look, no,
I
no.
say
Let me finish. Look, I'm a musician. I've been a pro musician for more than 20 years, and guess what? There's people heckling artists. There are people who are heckling comedy acts. People are gonna have this behavior. It's part of human nature
no, dude.
to ridicule people, to heckle people, to
No, no.
be mean towards people. It's part of
I
human nature. It
Well,
just doesn't exist on the internet, and you gotta learn how to deal with that.
I do
I'm
hear
sure.
you. Let me jump in because I've been wanting to get in. Okay, I do hear you.
Yeah, yeah. Go in, go in.
I tried to wait right to when you were done. Okay. I'll try to be brief in this next if you want to get in or whoever else. Okay. Dude, I do hear you. The band I mentioned earlier, Fish, there's in their documentary, it's called Bittersweet Motel, and it's a whole documentary that is on the band. And at one point, they had the guitar player, he had to read bad reviews on camera. That was what they filmed him doing, like reading having to read bad reviews. And one of them, dude, he reads. It's in the movie. It's hilarious. It's called Bittersweet Motel. If you ever want to see it, it's a great documentary.
I'm gonna look it up. Thanks, Joe.
Yeah, I mean they're a huge band. They're one of the biggest bands like in our times in terms of top grossing. But they weren't really like hyped up. They weren't really like the Hollywood music industry thing. Like never hyped them up because they were more of a grassroots, where they actually built their following from actual touring and playing live. But anyways, so they're kind of like an oddball in the music industry compared to like these other huge bands or whatever. And they're considered like a jam band kind of within that Grateful Dead kind of category. Anyways, in a way, even though they're way different than the Grateful Dead, but they do a lot of improvisation and so on. Anyways, in the documentary on them, in the part that the guitar player is reading the bad reviews, it says something like, listening to this band is like having your ears urinated in, like having your ears pissed in, like actually. And then his response, the guitar player was like, he's like, whoa, he's like, there's probably some like high priced hookers you could pay in Amsterdam to do that to you. Like, you don't have to listen to our music to get that. It's a funny part of it. But yeah, dude, I know people make all kinds, and that was in like mainstream media. Like they literally said this band is like having your ears urinated into. They literally said that, in some newspaper review or whatever. So, dude, I hear you. The heckling and even insulting sometimes or mocking or whatever, like saying that you're, it's like having your ears pissed in. I mean, that's a certain type of commentary. So, dude, I hear you on all that. I don't know where we want to go from here because I mean, what we're not really talking about just that though. Like, I guess this convo went into the whole like, I guess more so like, I guess a topic of troll stalking maybe and this harassment that goes on the internet. I mean, I think it's like it's like an expression of demonic energy. And you could say, oh, don't be a snowflake, just let it roll off your back. And yeah, I hear you on that. And that's kind of my style with it. Like, I'm not going to get upset if someone makes whatever commentary, but that's my own, etc. But I mean, would you also agree though, that like, if people are being like targeted, like, dude, somebody who wants to do live streams on a topic, that's their passion. And if they can't do it, you know what I'm saying? Because the comments, well, that's where like, like famous actresses and stuff, they don't Google themselves kind of thing, So, I mean, yeah, anyone who's kind of famous is be attacked too. Anyways, go ahead. I kind of ran on my thought, but.
Look, listen, I've been on here when Arwen streams, and he lashes out for people for no reason. Like I get it that there's trolls after him, but the times I've been here and he just lashes out and swears and do all kinds of stuff. It's been when it's been like a civil discussion. So I get it. He has a huge target on his back. People are harassing him. But the times I see him lash out happens more often than not when there's really nothing going on. I
guess like since specifically Arwen has come up, I mean, he has his own channel. He is a public figure in a way because of his channels, and he's been on other panels. He has been on here and other servers too, and obviously, so people know him. I mean, he's not here, so I'm kind of like, tentative to really want to talk about him.
No, I understand. Yeah, I get it.
But I mean, you could also say it's general commentary. He is a public figure, and there is this thing we're talking about because Arwen was one of the targets that Icy Spin's channel seems to be targeting. One of them was Demok, one of them was Arwen. That's why it came up. I mean, and dude, for me, I am not condoning anything. I mean, if Arwen has done things that are, problematic, I'm not condoning of any of that. He may have even said some stuff on here, then mods didn't catch it or didn't do whatever. You know what I mean? So if he's done that, I don't condone that either. We don't catch everything modding on here, obviously. Like
obviously.
Yeah. So I
Like
mean,
I'm not
condoning
I'm not
any
trying
of
to give you a
that.
hard time, deal.
I'm not condoning anything that someone has done that's not, in a, ideal or whatever. But the thing is, like, I also have compassion for people that have different things. And I don't know, there's the whole question, how much it is someone to blame versus how much, like, is their inner anger, or maybe they had traumas as a child or whatever. I'm just saying in general, you know what I'm saying? Like, are they a victim or are they a perpetrator? But people that, and you could say that about the people that are harassing someone like Arwen as well. Like, are they just in their own, like, maybe they were harassed by their father or their, you know what I mean, as a child, or maybe their brothers harassed them and they're a victim to their harassing trauma. And that gets into the whole question of, like, agency, how much are we responsible for our inner impulses? Obviously we have to have, I mean, if someone's a pedophile, they have to be responsible for it. Or if someone's a rapist, or any other number of, or murderer, they have to be responsible. So,
Yeah.
all parties would have to be responsible for whatever they're doing that's problematic, basically, for